All right, so what we're looking at here is a list view UI for a script activity log that tracks the overhead, the time overhead of FileMaker scripts. And the reason that I'd like to show this is I just saw a post on a forum regarding the overhead involved with using the button bar display text calculation to render on-the-fly calculated text or numbers in a list view. And of course, one has to be very mindful of the sort of overhead that one's going to put into those calculations. But I also wanted to show the other side of that, which is some of the cool things you can do once you get a grasp of what's a good idea and what's not a good idea. So this is a layout that uses some pretty adventurous use of that particular feature. That is, using the button bar calculation to display on the fly calculations in a list view. So if we take a look at this row delta column, or first off, what we're looking at is we're looking at a particular script and various points in the script that occurred in time when it called script B, script C, and when script C called script B again, various comments that were logged in the script. And the row delta is showing the amount of time between the previous entry and the entry that you're currently looking at. So 5 milliseconds from the start of script A is when this comment happened. 7 milliseconds later, script B was called. 10 milliseconds later, a message was logged. 10 seconds later, another message was logged, so on and so forth. So this is an example, doing these row deltas. That's an example of something that I did using button bar calculations. Each button looking to the previous record to grab the value and then display the delta between its own start time and the previous start time. Okay, the next example of this button bar calculation that I'd like to show is this anchor delta column. And what it does is it shows basically sort of like a running total of these values that we just looked at, the row deltas. It shows a running total, and let's actually activate the window so we can see it when I hover now. You can see that it's showing you basically a sum of the amount of time that it took to get to the particular step. So what that in effect is the amount of time that it takes to get from the start of script A down to here was 10.07 seconds, 10.05, just 0.02 seconds. And then we get down here, it took 20.13 seconds to get from the start of the script down to here. Now this is again accomplished by using button bar calculations. The last little feature about this is that you can set new anchors if you want. So if I shift click on this row, it'll set an anchor here, and this will stay fixed, showing that it took 10.07 seconds to get from this top anchor to here. The in-between displays are still the same, but now every subsequent hover in this column will show the delta from this most recent anchor. So it just took 0.01 seconds to get from this step to here, 10 more seconds to get from here to here, and that's because of this big delta value here, and so on and so forth. So setting the anchors allows you to sort of easily see the amount of time that it took to get from one point in the script to another point of execution in the script. And this is all done using the button bar calculations. Okay, that's it for now. Hope you enjoy.